Okay, so it's 11:02, so let's get started. First off, for those of you that don't know me, and most of you do, my name's Alan, and the reason that I like this is because I have been on the search for this for years. I have never seen anything that has the upside potential financially that this does. I've known about crowdfunding for an awfully long time, and I'm a big trend follower. So I look at things from a business perspective and see what they're doing. Okay, when gigantic corporations like Facebook, Venmo, PayPal all start jumping on the bandwagon, they got started back in 2012 with GoFundMe, Indiegogo, Kickstarter, Patreon. There's literally over 1,000 crowd funds that are out there right now, all for different types of reasons, and they all kind of follow the same model. What I like to refer to what we're doing here with Co-op Crowd as the next evolution in crowdfunding, because that's kind of how things work, isn't it? Somebody will come out with an idea, a contraption, an invention, or something like that. Then somebody else is looking at it to see if there's a better way to do it. And typically it's, the way that we experience things these days is that, technology sort of increases the rate of speed by which things get better, because old technology begets new technology, and that's kind of how things work. So I'm excited about this mathematical model, and I'm a math guy, and that's what we're going to be talking about here today is how do the numbers work? Because the numbers are what get me excited, because I need to know how to either back into my numbers or go fast and go forward into my numbers, or whatever the case may be. That's just me. So, I have a style, I have a way that I teach, and that's what this is. This is not a presentation at all. This is just the way that I learn things and what I've uncovered in my desire to learn them. And I feel like it's a good way to look at this thing so that you fully understand what the heck's going on. I mean, if you don't get something, or if you're confused, at least in my mind, when that happens, I don't do anything, because I don't comprehend it at that point. So I had to reverse engineer some things here because there was too much ambiguity for my brain. And I did that. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. So we're going to cover a couple of different things here. And here's what they are. We're going to be covering how it is that you get donations. If you're not muted, I need to mute you. That would be, there we go. Belinda, I got you, girl. Don't you worry. So, how do the donations generate? All right. Because we all hear this. Now, most people that are on here, and if you're brand new on here, most people are already members, and I'm letting people in as they come in, but most people are members. And if you're not a member and you're a new person, you still want to know is how is the money generated? Because this is a question that we all get asked. Oh, I've seen these things before. Okay. Only the people at the top. If people stop paying money, then people stop earning money. Okay. Not true. Okay. Here's what I will say about that. This is like any other business model. Okay. Businesses require what? They require patrons to be successful. They require sales to be successful. It wouldn't matter if Lynn Allison and I decided to open up a little boutique shop where we sold fancy clothes and things like that. Nobody comes in the door, we're out of business. So what does that mean? That means we have to invite people into our store in order for, if we don't get people through the door, either by traditional advertising or by standing out on the street, in any event, that's what we have to do. Okay. Is get people through the door. This is no different, but how many businesses do you guys know where all you need to get through the door is 3 people? Not many. If we had that dress shop and all we ever did was 3 people, we'd be out of business in a hurry, right? That's traditional business. I own a roofing company. If all I ever did was 3 roofs, I'd be out of business in a hurry. All right. That's just the reality. This is so easy. You need 3 customers, guys. That's it. 3 donors, 3 people through your door. That's all you need. Now, those people need to do the same. It's like we're opening a series of Chick-fil-A's, right? But all the Chick-fil-A has to do is sell 3 chicken sandwiches. That's it. Every store sells 3, and we are all sickly wealthy. And I'm going to show you how those numbers work today, because it's crazy, right? So What is important here that everybody focus on is the duplication of this. I open a store, I get 3 customers. My 3 customers open a store and I teach them how to get 3 customers. You do that and that proliferates and we continue to do it and it repeats and there's more money here than I can count. I literally have started planning on who it is that I'm going to hire to manage the money because I don't know what to do with this much money. I don't know how to effectively manage it. And that is absolutely the truth. And that's where my vision is. So I want you guys to all have the same vision because a lot of my friends are on here. A lot of people that I know, Clint, Jim Williams, JP Richardson, Myra Beard, Jim Widman, we've all done something where we wanted to elevate or level up our financial picture, our financial IQ, as I like to refer to it, by understanding the markets. Whether we're talking stock markets, options markets, the cryptocurrency market, which is a hot market, trading Forex or trading anything, gold, metals, oils, and things like that. We've wanted to learn that. Why? I'll tell you why. Because when you go to work every single day to earn the money that you earn, you've worked hard for that money. Why don't we flip the script? So the money that we've earned, that we've worked so hard to earn, let's get that money to work hard for us in return. It's kind of a dumb idea, and we've all done it, me included, to earn that money and then just spend it on stuff, right? Just throw it out the door on stuff that all it does is end up in a pile in the corner and in a garage sale or whatever. And I'm not saying everything is like that, but I'm saying a lot of things that we do with our money doesn't make sense because we could take some of it and put it to work for us. So this whole community is sort of based around that idea of how can we all get wealthy together? And that's what it is. That's why we talk about more than just co-op crowd. That's why we talk about more than just trading. That's why we talk about more than IRAs and all that stuff. But today we're here to focus on co-op crowd. And I'm telling you guys, holy smokes, the amount of money that can be earned here with just 3 customers and you teach those 3 customers to get 3 customers is astronomical. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so here's what we're looking at here, you guys. First of all, let me just make something perfectly clear. This is not a tool that Co-op Crowd or corporate invented. It is my own propensity to have to reverse engineer stuff. It's just who I am. I was a kid taking apart the transistor radio. I have to do it. Okay, it's how I understand things, and it's how I can be so confident when I explain things to other people of how it works. So we're going to go through 2 rows here very quickly, okay? 2 columns actually. And the first column is this column called what's possible. Okay, so we are in something called a 3x10 matrix. This is what a 3x10 matrix looks like. You're at the top. Everybody's number 1. Everybody on this call has a number 1. They are the number 1, okay? And then it has 10 rows. So the idea here is this is you. And this is the 3 customers that I told you needed for your store to succeed. You don't need any more. You don't need to go out and find any more than 3. Now, for me personally, I don't know why to keep the blessing in. I'm sharing it with as many people as I can, but 3 is all you need. If you don't like to work hard, don't work hard, but work hard enough to get 3 solid customers and teach them to do the same. So 4, 5, and 6 would be this guy's 3 customers. 7, 8, and 9 would be this guy's 3 customers. Not 10, 11, and 12 would be this guy's 3 customers. All right. So there's 3 people there. That means there's 9 people here, 9 people here, 9 people here, 27. Okay. There's 9 people here, 9 people here. If they all go out and get 3, this is 81 because 27 times 3 is 81. And that's how this works. So you can see if you fill this whole thing up, you would have a total of 88,572 people in your very own structure, your donation tree, as I call it, whatever. Give it whatever name you want, but that's what it would look like. Now, that is possible, not probable, okay? I'm going to be perfectly clear. I am not the pie in the sky guy. I am the reality numbers guy, which is why I built all this stuff, and I did it for myself for the need to know, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and minimize that and get back to here. So this column represents that graphic I was just showing. So if you added all of these numbers up, it would be 88,572. Okay. So what's possible is this. What's probable is something entirely different. And I'm, again, not the pie in the sky guy. So let me just go through this top row here and explain this to you on how your money is generated in Co-op Crowd. Now, we're just talking about the $25 thing, not very much money. Okay, so let me explain that in case nobody understands. Where it says $84 is 25 times 3 plus a $3 fee times 3. So that's $84 in 84 days, $1 a day. Simple as that. You can buy a token and become a member. This covers you for 3 28-day cycles. All right. So you can see that's how that works. And this is enough money to cover you for 3, I'll call it 28-day cycles. It's basically 3 months. Okay. So here's what happens. You go out and you do what you're supposed to do, and you get 3 customers. That's it. No more, 3 customers. And that's what this number represents here. So how does that generate money for you? Well, a couple of magical things happen when you do that. When day 85 rolls around and it's time to pay your $25 again, you don't have to. Okay, so that's magical thing number 1. So that means you had a one-time out-of-pocket expense, and that's it. I love that, right? For those of you that have been in network marketing, and this has a networking component to it, not going to lie, okay, it does. We have to get customers, but then so does everything. All right, I mean, if I bought some lawn mowing equipment, do I need to get customers? Yes, absolutely. All right, if I want to make any money. So you're always selling, regardless of whether you think you do or whether you don't. All right, so you go out and you share this with 3 people. They love it and they get involved. Those are your 3 personal people on this row 1. All right, so that's your level 1. Now, because you personally introduce them, Co-op pays 25% of the $25, regardless of where they fall in this matrix, whether you introduced them all the way down at row 10, 5, 7, 2, 3, 1, you get a 25% piece of that $25. What is that? Well, that's $6.25 for each one of those. Now, since we're talking about row 1, we're only talking about 625 times 3. On that row, you get an additional, only that row, 10%. What's 10% of $25? $2.50. So across the top row, you're going to get 625 and 250 if you sponsored them all right, introduced them all, for a total of $8.75 each. Now, if we do what we're supposed to do, and we teach those people to go get their own 3 customers, just 3, they're never going to quit because they aren't having any out-of-pocket expense. Like I just said, I've got people on here that have been in Rodan and Fields, Viseo, all kinds of different network marketing groups. And you guys all know without volume, you don't make money. All right. So you have a monthly auto ship. This does not have that. That's a big deal for people, because what is the first thing people let go of? Their side hustle when they can't afford it. It's just the reality. I've been in this business long enough to be able to say that without fear of contradiction. So here's what we've got. We've got 875. If that person isn't paying and they stick with you for the 13 28-day periods, which is 364 days, in that year time minus a day, they will be worth $113.75 a piece to you. Where do you know that you could do such little work and earn $113 over the year? So what is that on an annual or a 364-day basis? It's $341.25. Not too shabby. I guarantee you, if you were walking out of your local Kroger or your grocery store, wherever you shop, and you saw $340 laying on the ground, nobody was looking, and you got excited about it, mute yourself, Shanna. Thank you very much. Then you'd pick it up. You'd be fired up. We're talking about residual passive income that will happen of $340. Super simple. 3 customers, $340. Very easy. Now, if you did not personally sponsor those people, you're not going to get the 625 across the top row. You would get 10%. That's $2.50. So that person would be worth, in 13 periods, $32.50. Okay. This model that I've written here assumes one thing. You went and got 3 people and they're on the top row. That means that you've earned enough, $26.25, to do what? cover your donation of 25 bucks, because 26.25 is more than 25 bucks. Simple. No more out-of-pocket expense ever. You can't get any better than this. All right. Now, this model also assumes that you helped your 3 customers find their 3 and teach them how to do the same thing. So this row of 9 assumes that you did not introduce this anymore. You just helped your people where they needed it. Some people need help, some people don't. Okay. And so what happens here? Well, you're not going to get to 25% because they did it. You didn't. You're going to get 5%, which is how much? $1.25 a person. Not a lot of money. But this is like the penny doubled story. If you know that story, 1 becomes 2, becomes 4, becomes 8, becomes 16, becomes 32. Not very exciting in the beginning, but by the end, it's a lot of money. By day 28, you're a millionaire. By day 31, you have $5 million. Penny doubled is a very powerful illustration of how compounding works. So you take that $1.25 times 9 people, it comes out to be $16.25. Okay. In an annual period, it's $146.25. How does that work? 9 times 16.25, $146.25. Simple as that. Okay. So now that you understand how this model works, this model assumes you only got 3 and you taught them to get 3. Here's what I'm going to show you. Now, if you were a stud and everybody in your group was a stud, and what's possible was what was actual, again, per the graphic that I showed you, to have 88,572 people in your squad. A perfectly filled out matrix, and you'd be making $142,000 every month, every 28 days, actually, without the last 25% bonus. That's just how the math works. Now, that's possible, but not probable. Okay. Chances of that happening for anybody are going to be very, very slim. And I'm a realist, but here's what I believe can happen. Anywhere from 20% on down is a reality, just because of the dynamic nature of how these things fill out. So here's what I do believe is possible. Where you went and got 3, you have 3, and you taught your 3 to get 3, they have 3. Now, here's where it breaks down. Here's where it always breaks down, y'all. It's once it gets past you and you're counting on other people to do exactly what you did. In other words, duplicate this thing. That's where it breaks down. And it's going to break down. You can't talk to everybody, because you can only sweep your own driveway, right? So instead of these going out and getting 3 and turning this row into 27, well, only a couple guys went out and talked to a couple people. So that row becomes 5 instead of 27. This one becomes 16 instead of 81. This one becomes 49 instead of 243. And you get the idea. So instead of 88,000 people, you end up with 17,000 people. Still a strong number. That's if only 2 out of every 10 people that ever get talked to about this want to get involved, which is nuts to me. But if that was the case, you'd be making $28,443 residually every 28 days. This is dumb. Okay, this money is crazy. And that's how the money would work out. So again, going across the sides, like I told you, these would be your residuals per level annually. These would be your monthly or every 28 days for the row. So what does that mean? That means there's 11,000 people that you didn't put in on your final row times $1.88 equals 22,000 bucks. That's how that gets there. That's what you need to understand. Over here, 437 out of 2187. You didn't put them there because you only put these there. 437 times 63 cents on that row monthly is worth 275. Penny doubled story. 275 doesn't sound like a lot, but it starts to get exponential in growth. So it's important to what? Unlock all 10 levels. Super important. And how do you do that? You get your 3 customers and you teach their customers to get 3. That unlocks all 10 rows. If you don't do that, you don't have a full matrix. You cannot get to the 10th row. You have to do that to make money like this in this idea. Hopefully that helps everybody. Now let's just say you're not even 2 out of 10. Let's just say that we're down to 10% and you're 1 out of 10. It's still 14 grand a month. It's crazy how this grows. And that's only 8,800 people. Let's say you're not that good and would cut it in half again. And now it's cut in half again. It's still $7,100 a month without the final 25% bonus, which is what I'm going to talk about. Now, I don't know about you guys. I know there's men and women on this call that $7,100 a month doesn't get it done. An extra $7,100 a month that is passive because you put a little elbow grease into something is a whole different statement. You would have to have millions and millions and millions of dollars in real estate holdings to earn passively $7,100 a month. Passively. Okay. And when I say passively, I mean passively. I don't mean that you have to be a landlord and go hire a property management company and have overhead and expenses and all. That's not passive. It's pretty passive, but it's not entirely passive. I'm talking about you go to the mailbox, you got $7,100. Here's the better part, guys. You get this money every single day of the 28-day period. When someone starts their 28-day period, you get them again in 28 days. You get that donation repeat every single day. So once this thing gets up and running and is cooking for a minute, which it's only been cooking for a little bit, you will start to see repeat money every day, whether someone new comes into your organization or not. They will cycle out after 28 days and you'll get paid again. What? You'll receive another donation. I mean, it's crazy. All right, so let's get really dumb and get really low and go, hey, I'm not going to put that much work into this, Alan. What if I only get 800 people? You guys, I'm almost there already. Not quite, but I'm getting close. All right. That's $1,400 a month. Now, that doesn't include the bonus. I keep saying that, but it's important to understand that I can't give you the algorithm to the bonus because I don't know it. I can't figure it out. And every time I ask David, the founder, to tell me, he tells me to get lost. That doesn't mean I won't keep knocking on the door. All right. He doesn't want to give up the secret sauce. And I understand that. And I'm okay with that, but I'm pretty persistent. That's how I got married. So in any event, even if 1 out of 1,000 people that you talk to, I mean, that's 1 out of 100, and that's impossible to me. If you just open your mouth, it's still $1,400 a month, an extra $18,000 a year without the 25%. And I'm going to talk to you about the 25%. But here's what I think. All right. I think everybody who puts a little bit of effort in is capable of this. A 10% penetration. I do. Okay. A 10% penetration without bonus is 14 grand a month. I know many people on this call would be highly impacted by 14 grand a month if they put 80 hours a week in to earn it. Much less if it were passive. Talk about being able to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, for as long as you want, without having to worry about where your next paycheck was coming from. That does it. That gets it done right there. Okay. And if you think that's too high, you can get a copy of this sheet and you can lower it to 5%. That's still more money than most people make, unfortunately, sadly, in this world. But it's true. That's $92,000 a year. That's a lot of cheese, right? So let's go back to the 10%. Now, I also said that we were going to talk about is why it's so important for you to upgrade to the 250. Well, it's 10 times the money. 10 times the money. It's 10 times the cost, 10 times the money. Okay, same idea. It is a completely separate structure, so that graphic I showed you, okay, has nothing to do with the next one, except that now you have a bunch of open-minded people, 8,000 people in your structure that may want to make more money. Okay, now I am again, you guys, I am trying to dumb this down to the fact where you understand that I'm not about pie in the sky numbers. I am not. I'm about real numbers. So here's what I think. I think about 20% of this number will upgrade to the other number. Now, there's two ways to do this, and I want to make this perfectly clear. There's fast track, because money loves speed. All right. And for anyone that can afford it, you should already be in the 250. Why? Because donations are coming into that 250 every single day and you're missing them. They are bypassing you. You don't have that. Okay. So when I found out there was a 250, the day it came out, literally got an email 4 minutes later, I'd paid for it and put it in. I don't say that to boast or brag. I say that because I understand the money and I understand what it would be like. It wasn't a struggle for me to pay that money. And even if it had been, I would have done it. because I understand the return on that is going to be massive, massive. Okay, so let's look at that. All right, so here you can see we got the same 3.9 because you got to do the same thing. All right, and this is the 250. But I've got this thing called an upgrade lag, meaning I only believe about 20% of whatever you have in the 25 matrix are going to be in your 250 matrix. Not everybody's going to see it the way you do. Not everybody's going to have the ability, all right, to upgrade immediately. In any event, if it was 100%, if there was no lag, that would mean that there would be 8,800 people here and 8,800 people here. Again, that's not realistic. Possible? Yes. Okay. Not realistic. So I, again, believe that about 20% at any one given time are going to be over here and here at the same time, to which I can earn from both. Okay. It could be higher. I don't know, but there's two ways to get it. Buy it up front like I did because I don't want to miss out on any of the donations, or let the system upgrade you. So as soon as you have enough money to move to the 250, which is about $792, it will automatically upgrade you and put you over there. It's going to take your $792, but guess what? The 250 matrix was at that time donated to you. But here's why you don't want to wait if you can afford not to wait. If you're doing this, do it. All right. That's my theory. Okay. Jump in all the way, maximize the plan, make as much money as they've made available to us. Do it. Don't toe wet. Nobody ever got anything that way. All right. So get in and do it. All right. So here's the reason why. Here you are. I'm going to use this matrix as an example. You're at the top of that, right? Row 1. Okay. What if somebody down here that somebody introduced from somebody else that knew somebody that you don't know was a big player who had a lot of money and said, man, I really see this. I'm just going to go ahead and upgrade to the 250. Well, guess what? You missed him because he jumped over you, because that's a completely separate structure. Okay. You aren't just sitting here waiting for people to show up. There's nothing for free. You've got to put skin in the game before you would be ahead of that guy. So to wait is to absolutely dent your income from donations like you have never seen before. No waiting allowed in my mind. All right. So again, if a guy comes in down here and you haven't done it yet, he's going to go whoop right over the top of you. And now instead of you receiving donations from him, he's going to get them from you whenever you make that decision. So if you can do it, do it. If you believe in this concept, do it. All right. So here's how that works. Again, I believe about 20% of the people over here will come in over here. So what does that mean? 3.9, still got to get that done. Instead of 3, you only have 1. Instead of 8, you only have 2. Instead of 24, you only have 5, and so on and so forth. In other words, 20% of the 10% is how that works. Now, I'm not going to go through all these numbers and everything, but it's 10 times the money. Instead of 625, it's 62.50. Instead of 250, it's $25. 10 times the money, 10 times the cost. So when we move over here to the bottom line numbers, that would be an additional 28,000 residual dollars. It's $1,000 a day. If we can make this happen, $1,000 a day. Okay. This might take a year, might take 2. So what? All right. Those years and those 2 years are going to go by anyways. So let's do this. 1 out of every 10 people for our entire structure gets involved. We end up with 8,000 people, right? We come over here. Only 20% of those 1 out of every 10 people get involved. That's 0.2 people get involved. You end up making $43,000 a month. Come on. It's going to be fun a year and a half from now to find out what people are really doing. But let me ask you a question. Let's say I'm way off base here with this. The spreadsheet calculates accurately, but let's just say nobody's able to build it that big, which that isn't going to be true at all. But let's say this is truth. Would you be upset if that was half that number? 25% of that number? Heck, I wouldn't be upset if it was 10% of that number and it was $4,000. You know what $4,000 does? Holy smokes. It's a lot. All right. If I had a house payment, it would pay my house payment. Well, probably get that condo at the beach that my wife wants, right? So last night we go out to dinner, right? And I opened up a separate bank account for businesses because I do. So I have a separate account that has Zelle attached to it and all this stuff where all the donation money goes to, right? Groceries yesterday, donated. Dinner last night, donated. You starting to feel me here? I am blessed. I have another income stream. These donations at some point will become so massive, they'll be the primary revenue stream. But right now, it's just fun to be able to say to my wife, look, that dinner was donated by people, some that I know and some that I don't. So you guys, I'm super fired up about this. Now, so I'm going to tell this story and we're going to be done. So the other day, I was looking in the back office of a friend who wasn't really quite understanding what was going on. And they had two people come in on their level 6 and 7. Okay. Now let's go back. And this was in the 25. What does level 6 and 7? Oh, no. Yeah, it was 6 and no, couldn't have been. Wasn't 6 and 7 because it was 220. Oh, it was 2 on level 6. That's right. It was $2.25s. Okay. They didn't know that people, again, this was somebody that put somebody in completely passive. They had nothing to do with it. And $2.50 was what they got. Okay. Now they're just getting started and they're already at level 6. All right. So let's go here and let's put in $1.25. Okay. And it was 2 of those. And I like doing the math out. So I think that helps explain it. So that would have been 2 people times the $1.25, right? So the donations that hit their wallet, how come my text is so small? Yay, now we can all see it. Should have been that in my mind, all right? But here's what I found out, and this is why, another reason why I'm so fired up. The entire time I've been talking about the dollars down here and saying it's not including the final 25%. How do you make the 25%? Go get yourself 3 customers. Teach those 3 customers to get 3 customers. You unlock all 10 rows, right? And you get the 25, you're qualified for the 25% pool at that point. Now, not everybody's going to go get 3 and put in 3. So that's not everybody in the matrix is going to be qualified for that extra 25%. What does that mean? That means you're going to get more than your fair share because people aren't going to work this, which is insane to me, but they aren't, I promise. All right. So here's what ended up actually showing up was this. Okay. So $2.81 is what was in his back office. He's like, well, how does that work? Because $1.25 that I'm supposed to get on that row. I go, well, you've got 3, they got 3. So you're qualified for the bonus. I verified with corporate that what goes in your wallet if you're qualified includes the bonus. So what would that make this? Well, I'd make it 140.5 because 140.5 and 140.5 is 281, but that's not how it works. So here's what it should have been, you guys. How much extra money is 281 over 250? 31 cents. Oh, of course, naturally. Hang on a second. Doink. Doink. All right. It's 31 cents extra. Okay. So if we take that 31 cents, right? And over here, we do this and we say, well, I'll just do it right here. Make it easy since it's formatted. I'm going to say, take the 31 cents, divide it by what it should have been to tell me the percentage gain on that money. So that's not 12 cents. It's 12%. So the bonus paid this guy an extra 12%. Go out to your bank and ask them how much their APY is on their money. It's sub 1%. Sub 1% annual. This person made 12% bonus in one day. That has me more excited than anything because I'm not looking at 250. I'm looking at 25 grand. I'm looking at 2,500. I'm looking at what it's going to be. And I was told that's probably a low bonus because it's just getting started. You guys, I'm telling you, it's time to get fired up. I've been told straight from the horse's mouth, that would be David, that whatever that number is that I have highlighted here, right here, when you're qualified for the bonus, it can be as much as 1 to 6 times higher when you're qualified for the 25%. So having said that, what if it is this 1 to 6 times higher? What if it's only that much? What if that's all the effort that your whole group puts in, 1 to 6 times higher? What if they put in a little more effort, 1 to 6 times higher? Because you went out and got 3 customers and helped them get their 3 customers. Guys, I don't know anywhere else where you could open up a business and survive on 3 customers and teach them to open a store and do the same. Doesn't exist.